Today we're going over the Cincinnati Bengals 26-27 season predictions and if they're going to get over or under 9.5 wins. I'll let you know at the end of this video my predictions on how many wins they're going to get. But let's hop right into the video and I will go over their biggest losses and gains to start. So they lost Trey Hendrickson, which was a huge loss on their defensive line. They're having trouble coming to agreement on contract extension, and the Bengals just needed help on defense, and losing Trey Hendrickson did not help a lot, but they did pick up Dexter, which was a great pickup, but still going to be tough to replace Trey Hendrickson. Sort of a wash there, but they did bring in Jonathan Allen. So that interior defensive line did get a little bit more beefed up this year, and they brought in Bryan and Kyle Duggar. Two brand new safeties coming in to that secondary, but let's take a look at their overall depth chart. So Joe Burrow, we know what to expect with him when he's healthy. The problem with him has been health. So Joe Burrow has just not been able to stay healthy. That's what it's really going to come down to on their win total for the year. Can Joe Burrow stay healthy? There's no question about it. When Burrow's healthy, that this offense is one of the best, if not, a top three, could be a top offense in the league. Chase Brown has really come on and is a top back in the league now. Top 5, maybe not so much, but top 10, I would say he can definitely crack the top 10. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, two very solid players to bet on. I love betting on Joe Burrow's passing yards as well as Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Chase Brown. This is a team that I have a lot of exposure when it comes to betting in the regular season. And the way I do all my player prop and team research for my bets is with Data Streak. Link is in the description, so you can check it out after this video. Mike Gesicki at tight end. O-line, they got Orlando Brown. Getting him from the Chiefs was a good move. I think it was last year when they did that because they needed help. They've had their O-line struggles protecting Burrow and still not a great offensive line, and Burrow needs that protection. So it's going to come down to, can they protect him and keep him healthy and on the field? The defense, again, losing Trey Hendrickson's huge, but adding Dexter and Jonathan Allen in that middle was definitely a win for them. And we'll see how those new safeties end up panning out. But let's look over at their schedule. Till I see otherwise, I'm going to assume they're going to struggle early in the season because I've seen it 4 or 5 years in a row. So they got to start with the Bucks, Texans, Steelers. I think they're going to split games with the Steelers, so we'll give them a win there. And Texans, Bucks, I think they'll win one of those 2 games, so we'll give them 2 wins. Jaguars, I think the Jaguars are going to be tough this year. Say they'll lose that. They're going to beat Miami. We'll say week 5. Then they have the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to be tough this year. We'll call that a loss. Titans, I think they can win. That'll be 4. Falcons in Madrid. Who knows with those international games? They could go either way, but we'll give them a win there at 5. I think they'll split with the Steelers, and we already gave them a win, so they're still at 5. Then they have the Commanders. Who knows what to see from the Commanders? They are away on a Monday night game. It's going to be tough for them, so we'll say they lose that game at Commanders. Even if they were to win that, it's still going to be tough to get to 10 wins. We're at 5 so far. I think they'll beat the Saints. I think they'll beat the Browns. Chiefs, I think that'll be a loss. Panthers, that could go either way. We'll see how the Panthers, but we'll give them a win there at 7. Then they have the Colts. I think that'll be a win. And then they have the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Now, what I'm considering in this, we're at 9 wins. Now, do I think that they could get to 10 and beat the Browns twice? Yes, and that will get them to 10 wins. But I don't think Joe Burrow, I'm assuming, based on what we've seen in the past from Joe Burrow and them keeping him healthy, I'm going to assume that Joe Burrow is going to miss some games somewhere in here. And we look over at their depth chart. Joe Burrow gets hurt. They get put with Joe Flacco. Now, is Joe Flacco the worst thing in the world for the Bengals? No, he kind of went off when he filled in for Joe Burrow, but I do not think he's anywhere near Joe Burrow. Joe Flacco is a vet, but he's getting older. I mean, he's up there in age. And so it's going to be tough if Joe Burrow gets hurt. I'm going to assume that Joe Burrow is going to get hurt at some point. So when we look at FanDuel, at their over-under on the season, under 9.5 wins, you can get some value at plus 135. I don't mind that at all with the value, assuming Burrow gets hurt. But I like even better Cincinnati Bengals under 10.5 wins at minus 125. I think that is the safer bet to make because we are looking at their schedule. Their schedule has some winnable games for sure. They definitely can rack up some wins, But given Joe Burrow's injury struggles and that team's struggles early in the season, I like the under 10.5 wins as the better move here when it comes to the Cincinnati Bengals. Let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree with my takes on the Bengals this year. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the other 31 teams. And if you want to try out Data Streak, link is in the description. I'll see you in the next video.